Jai Sri Ram, friends. Welcome to Bharat Marg. Welcome, Vinay ji. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it highly. And friends, today we are going to have a very interesting discussion about Canadian PM Trudeau. Justin Trudeau blames PM Modi for losing election. He already knows the result or what? Let's talk to Vinay ji about it. The election interference dragging Justin Trudeau down now. Really? That's that's a reason for his, he cannot even win one whatever election it happens, right? Click watch political analyst Vinay ji exposes losing ground of Justin Trudeau. Comment and share, friends. But before getting started, make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, friends, because with your support only we can reach out to as many people and spread the message. Also, if you didn't subscribe the channel Bharat Margar, please subscribe the channel and press the notification bell to stay connected. And now you know that we send out one dharmic message in multiple languages. So you can send a WhatsApp to us in +16479644790 and stay connected with us through WhatsApp and stay connected to the roots of Sanatan Dharma. Okay, let's get started with Vinay ji. Vinay ji, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Bharat Mart. Hey, Canadian PM Trudeau blames PM Modi for losing election or what? Already he is afraid of losing election. But let's face it, his poll number stinks. Do you agree with me on that? Okay, before we get started, let's come to the ground here. Okay, and he cannot even win whatever a city election or whatever. He cannot win an election. Period. No matter where he stands for, whichever small election he stands for, he will be beaten up. That's a status today. But he thinks PM Modi is the reason for his losing poll number and losing election, everything. What do you think about that?
Well, so so basically, what is happening with Trudeau is losing ground. Okay, Justin Trudeau, the loser Prime Minister of Canada, is actually losing so much ground that it's unfortunate that this man has got less than somewhere in the 20% range. Okay, his popularity.
Vinay, will he blame PM Modi for family interference for his wife letting him go to?
Possibly, because now he needs to point a finger to everybody for everything that has happened to him, and it's unfortunate that this man is resorting to all kinds of conspiracy theories, I should say, to kind of deviate the people from kind of blaming him for all the fiasco that's happening in Canada, to kind of pushing the whole the whole narrative to somebody else. So basically, when the law and order went out of hands in Canada, I'm not blaming the police, but it's basically the police also have limitations on how much they can do, what they can do, because there are certain restrictions about, there are certain limitations on the law, right? Like, how much a police officer can do. So when bunch of killings happened in British Columbia or Alberta or wherever, where these Khalistani terrorists were eliminated by gang rivalry, he kind of was looking around, who to blame, and then, yeah, let's blame India. So that's basically what happened.
By the way, Vinay ji, just to kind of for the viewers' benefit, I want to let you know that 2 days back there was a multiple shot fired at the drug lord, the ex-drug lord who is no more, Nijar, and ex-drug lord and the Guru Nanak Gurudwara chairman or whatever you call him. He was running a Gurudwara and also the drug distribution there, and his closest aide was shot multiple times 2 days back.
Right.
Okay.
This is a new story that's coming out, right, from the investigators. So basically, what has happened with Trudeau is he is not a person fit to be the Prime Minister of Canada. Okay, he has basically brought the economy, the whole, the entire, the Canadian system itself, I should say. It's a systemic issue that is happening here, and Mr. Trudeau has brought the whole. Uh, the whole kind of the aura around Canada. Like, Canada had an aura, I should say. It was well respected around the with among many countries and all that, but all that has gone to pretty much, I should say, dogs. So after Trudeau took over, and now he's trying to win another election that's coming up in the next year or so, and he's trying everything possible. But the problem is the poor man is just unable to sustain, because this guy is just blaming everybody and anybody that's not with him on this bandwagon, I should say. So coming to your question, right? Like, why is Trudeau blaming India, and is he actually truly blaming India? Because what has happened is the last little while, his popularity has dropped so much that there is now more than a 20-point lead by the conservatives, against the liberals. So, and conservatives, just to give you an idea, Polivier and his conservative party is about more than 20% ahead of Trudeau and his liberals. Okay. Now he has to try everything possible to recover, to do whatever possible to kind of, win the elections, hopefully. And now he's trying all kinds of different stories. So the latest story that he's come up with is he got CSIS, the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service. Okay. So the Canadian Intelligence Security and Intelligence Service is basically, the one of the leading, I should say, the spy agency in Canada, and their report titled "Briefing to the Minister of Democratic Institutions on Foreign Interference." Okay. In this report, they identified India as a foreign interference threat and claimed its activities could worsen if not addressed. And notably, the report also cites that China is the most significant threat in this regard. And next to China is India. And they've also included Russia in this. And I'm not sure, as days go by, they'll start including more countries. Okay, any country that is standing against the liberals, they're going to include that. So
Who
this list could
exposes
become,
double standard?
exactly, this list could become like a 20-page report, or a 2,000-page report with multiple countries in this report. Okay. Now, what they're trying to say is that India, in the last two elections, okay, in the last two elections, this makes me laugh. Actually, this is just a joke for me, but it's unfortunate that this is they're taking this route. They're saying that India basically interfered with the elections. They're not going into the details as how they did, what they did, why they did, no motive, but India is to be blamed that they have basically interfered in the previous two elections. Okay.
That's
So,
why he won.
I'm sorry.
That's why he won.
Well, that is the irony of the whole thing, right? Like, he's basically saying, he meaning the I won't say Trudeau himself, because Trudeau is now relying on this report by CSIS, and basically saying that Canada was vulnerable, and basically they kind of there was interference and whatever, right? So there's been a public inquiry investigations into this allegation of foreign interference in Canadian politics, and the first week of hearings have started actually, and the Commissioner Justice Marie Josie Hogue is actually heading this particular public inquiry investigation where this allegation has come up. Okay, so basically the blame, like I said, is investigating whether India, China, sorry, China, I mean in that order, China, Russia, India, and other nations. See, that's what I told you. Okay, I'm just reading the report here. And other nations meddled in the past two elections, and how information about foreign interference flowed within the federal government. Okay. So the inquiry was launched after media reports accused Beijing of interfering in the 2019 and the 2021 federal elections. Okay. So they've got the commission's lawyers have security clearance allowing them to review relevant documents, but they're not allowed to share classified documents with the public without government approval. Okay, so now if you recall, a few months ago, conservative MP Michael Chong, okay, was basically accused of a kind of being hand in glove with the Chinese government, and also he was accused of because he's of Chinese origin, he was accused of supporting the Chinese government, and also helping China in interfering with the elections, and passing on some classified information to the Chinese government, and also helping the Chinese government set up private Chinese police stations in Canada. Okay, and Michael Chong was extremely vehement about this, and he said, "You know what? Just because I'm in the opposition, it doesn't mean anything, and I'm because of my background is Chinese. You guys cannot accuse me of these things because
Means,
I'm a Canadian."
but Vinayji, but my question is, if the Chinese police station comes, these guys were sleeping for 3 years. It was running for years.
Oh yeah.
What the heck they were doing anyway? They didn't even know.
Absolutely. The Chinese police stations were running, and they were passing on extremely vulnerable and top secret information to the Chinese government. I'm not sure what the plan for the Chinese government was, what they were intending to do with these high security documents or whatever. But apparently they were passing on those kind of information to the Chinese government. And Michael Chong was kind of was accused of being involved in this, and finally Chong basically came out, and he made a big fuss about it, and finally they backed off, and now there's no accusation or no allegations against him. But what I'm saying is this hasn't stopped. Like, all of a sudden a new country has now been added to this list, India.
Yeah, because he has to pacify his Khalistani terrorist buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you know what? I'm 99% sure that this has come not from Trudeau himself, because he doesn't have the brains to think so far. I have a feeling that it's basically came from his, Khalistani supporter in the government, the NDP chief, who's that's Jagmeet Singh. He basically he doesn't like India. He has been banned from going to
He's
India.
banned. Yes.
Right,
He's a.
this man is basically accusing India of interfering in everything possible, because the elections are coming up in 2024. It's about 2 or 3 months away, so they're hyping up the narrative so that somehow, somewhere, the narrative is, the Western media basically creates a kind of a narrative that is actually going to be detrimental to the to Narendra Modi and his BJP in India. But what they don't know is it's actually helping them, right? Because the same thing happened, if you remember, just a few days ago when the Ayodhya Ram Temple was consecrated, right? The Western media, all the headlines, including BBC, Washington Post, New York Times, CBC,
All
CTV,
white supremacists. Let's talk
across the
about it.
globe, Al Jazeera, TNT, all these guys, all these,
Jihadi white supremacist groups. Yeah.
right, all these media houses said that this temple was built on a site where the Muslim mosque was present, and they demolished the mosque and they built the temple. But what they didn't go into the details was that 500 years ago, this land belonged to the Ram temple. There was a Ram temple there, and also it was not just because willy-nilly somebody just said, okay, you guys can go and build a temple there. It was through the Supreme Court, and India is one of the largest democracies in the world, and a lot of other countries have to learn democratic values and democratic principles and policies and stuff like that from India, because if you want to really see the true
Of course,
democracy
of
working.
course, of course. Most importantly, the guys who are bringing in emergency. Trudeau and his Khalistani terrorist buddy who brought emergency and
Exactly.
arrested the innocent
Exactly.
families.
So even the court system in Canada actually you know basically said that what the emergency that was implemented was wrongfully done, and it wasn't right. So even
But that is just a slap on the wrist.
yeah, it's a slap
No
on the wrist,
punishment,
but it's
nothing.
basically, the government said, oh, the court doesn't know, we are going to appeal the process. I mean, like, this is crazy. If a court tells you that you've done wrong, you got to introspect and say, what did I do wrong? How can I fix it? Rather than that, they're going to appeal the process.
But
Can you imagine?
let's face it, Vinay, if you or me does a mistake or a crime like this, illegal thing, will the court will give a wrist on the slap on the wrist
I'm
like
going to
this and with no punishment?
I'm going to
Oh,
give you
Vinay,
I'm
you
going to
did
give
the
you
wrong thing.
yeah, I'm going to give you a quick example. Okay. In 1976, I think 76, 77, the government in India, under the leadership of Indira Gandhi, implemented emergency. Okay. I think it was from 1975 to 77, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So almost a year and a half or 2 years, right? But the moment emergency was lifted, right, at that time, Indira Gandhi's party, Congress party, had a huge majority in the parliament, and they did whatever willy nilly, right? But the thing is, the court system in India worked those days and still works in an efficient way. And at that time, the court actually imprisoned, sent Indira Gandhi to the prison because they said what you did was wrong. Okay. So they arrested a whole bunch of people and all that stuff. And eventually, later on, whatever happened, I don't want to go into the gory details, but at least that much happened.
And even in US, Donald Trump is going through all the this
Exactly.
thing.
I mean, like, in the US, like, the laws are pretty strict, and they are going through a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you got to understand that in Canada, the court system, yes, has the power and authority, and they actually said that the emergency that was implemented was wrongfully implemented, so, and it was not done right in the right way. Although the environment was demanded this, but still emergency should not have been implemented or something like that, to that effect. So here, rather than introspecting, our man Trudeau is basically saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to appeal the system. Okay, we're going to appeal the court, and we're going to appeal and whatever." So I mean, like, come on, like, guys, like, you got to think about democracy and what the people are saying. Why is your popularity going down? Why is there a 20% gap between you and the conservatives, right? So the reason is you have done a lot of bad things. Your government is corrupt. You have taken money from the Aga Khan Foundation. You have been involved in so many scandals, and you're not fit to be the prime minister. So you got to understand that. So introspect and see what can you do to correct these things, rather than keep accusing other countries, other people of interfering in elections. I mean, for God's sake, you won the elections. You won the two elections, the Liberal Party, and yet you're
Yes.
saying that somebody interfered. So are you saying that India and China and Russia and whoever actually helped you, the Liberal Party, to get into the government, to
And
come into
become the
power?
Canadian Prime Minister.
So basically, you have to step down right now, right today. You have to step down, Mr. Trudeau. You have to resign, because what you're saying is, you're basically saying that yes, India, China, and Russia helped me win these elections unlawfully, and that's how I became the prime minister. So hence, now that the CSIS report has come out, I am going to resign.
Yep, absolutely. Vinayji, my question to you is, there is a huge Indian diaspora there, rather Hindu diaspora. Okay, because Khalistani terrorists are being appeased by him. I don't know how much he will get the vote. Pakistani jihadis are being appeased. When you attack India, these two groups are excited, right? That's what it happened. But how much do you still think Hindus will vote for him, which is a pretty significant minority also in this thing? And second, not only the vote, I am sure that there is a huge amount of fundraising happens through the Indian diaspora. Do you think how much this will have effect on it? What do you think in both these aspects?
See, the thing is, day
Is
by day,
constant hate and attack on Hindus and India?
day by day, this is kind of becoming a little out of control. Okay, this man is accusing India of everything that is going on in Canada. Okay, tomorrow he's
Whereas he
going to
was the
accuse.
one, he was interfering in farmers' protest, everything, and his
Exactly.
Canadian embassy was caught spying.
Tomorrow he's going to accuse. I wouldn't be surprised if he accuses India of being involved in the car theft that has become a rampant. Every 6 minutes, a car is stolen in Canada. So he'll probably involve India now, and even those petty crimes that's going on, he'll say, "Oh yeah, India is responsible for this, not us." So basically, he'll probably come down to that. So as a result, I mean, like even the Ram temple that was consecrated, right? Not one single word from the Canadian government about saying, "Hey, congratulations," or something like that, right? Nothing.
No,
Okay.
they are so painful. Yesterday, oh, Islamophobia attacked the mosque. This guy never spoke one word against all the temples that were attacked so far. All
Right.
the temples.
Yeah.
What a hypocrite.
So this is hypocrisy. You're right, actually. So what is happening is, I mean, like, his popularity is dwindling, and yes, the fundraising that he's planning, or that is coming up for the 20 in 2024, to kind of mobilize or fund the 2025 elections, is going to drop, especially from the Indian diaspora. Okay, from the Hindus. And last but not the least, okay, the Hindus are basically a pretty significant population. I won't say a huge population. They're about 2.6, 2.7% Hindus in Canada, and they're
In
about
concentrated locations.
2.2%, Punjabis, actually, out of that. 2.2% are Punjabis, and 2.2% Punjabis live in India, I mean, Canada. So now what's happening is, this man, what he has understood, unfortunately, without going into the geopolitical kind of the scenario, right? How things work, whether it's Punjab or India as a whole or whatever, he hasn't understood that the entire 2.2% doesn't comprise of only Hindus. It also comprises of Christians, because India is a multi-diverse, country, and it has Jains, Buddhists, and all of them. And then let's go to the Punjabi diaspora. Not everybody is a Khalistani supporter. So he's basically kind of point blank assumed that the entire 2.2% of
And Punjabi diaspora also has what you call Hindus in it.
exactly right. And you gotta keep in mind that the 2.2% are not all of them are Khalistanis. There's probably around maybe 30-40% or 20% or something like that of them Khalistanis. The remaining people are definitely are the people who just want to mind their own business and move on in their lives. And same thing with the Hindus, right? So I'm not going to say that the entire population is going to turn against him, but there will be a significant number of people that will turn against him, because of what he has done, especially spoil the relationships between India and Canada. Putting a hold on the visas that happened for a while, actually, when last year, in India stopped issuing
Even
visas
now,
to
it is
people.
difficult to come to Canada for parents and all. It's
Yeah,
very
and then
difficult.
what he has done to the students, right? And now student population is really reduced coming into Canada, because they're looking at other options. They're going to Australia, they're going to Europe, they're going to America, they're going anywhere except Canada, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely. And Canada has invited 30,000 Indian students. Not Canada, France.
yeah, exactly. So basically, you know what, and some of these countries, like you just said, France, and many other countries in Europe, right? They're actually, to help the Indians, they're actually now setting up classes in English to help these students. Okay, they're bringing in professors who can teach in English, and they're awarding they're running classes in English. So this is the flexibility that's going on. Especially France and India have an excellent relationship, and that's what you need to do. I mean, this is all about diplomacy, right? Not creating vehemence and the venoms and whatever, right? Like creating that enmity and stuff like that.
He created the hate between the community. He is
He,
a hate promoter.
exactly, he's a hate monger. That's all I can say.
But how do you think this will affect his fundraising?
No, like I said,
Yes.
right? It will definitely affect his fundraising, and but he has also got other sources for fundraising. But the thing is, you got to understand that Indians in Canada are one of the uh, richest,
Affluent people, yes.
more affluent people, because they're all in the either the middle class or upper middle class.
And
and
well studied in the out of
and
the,
exactly, and the
yeah.
top businesses, many of them are owned by Indians. Okay,
Yeah, and
real estate is
doctors.
owned by businesses, I mean, from by Indians. So these are the guys who can actually come up with the funding, right? I mean, like, I'm not going to blame other ethnicities and whatever, or other
No,
countries.
they have their income is above the average.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
and again, he's also keep in mind that Jewish people are another bunch of people who are very affluent in Canada, and he's already pissed them off because of what has happened with the his kind of his coalition with the Gaza and all that. So the thing is, you got to understand that for to win elections, number one, you need money. Number two, you need the support of the people. Okay. All right. So which he both of both in on both fronts he is losing. You understand that.
Hmm.
So this man should resign and just go and let other people come and rule this country.
Absolutely, absolutely. Friends, what do you think? Let us know. This is the Canadian Prime Minister blaming India, and his poll number stinks, you know, and he blames India for it. Everything, what do you think about it? His hate for Hindus and India is pretty visible. Do you agree with Vinay ji or disagree? Do comment and let us know. And looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, Jai Sri Ram. Jai Jai Sri Ram. Vinay ji, Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.